fin 경기장 도시형.
All right, guys, here we are, Game 7 between NSHoSeo and oGs, and here we have our Orange Zerg player, the last hope for oGs in the entire tournament. It is none other than oGs.JookTo, and at the top of the map, in the 12 o'clock position, is a fearsome Terran player, GSL champion, certainly is the champion of NSHoSeo, and will he be able to take the final game here to win it all for NSHoSeo, send them to the grand finals? It is NSH.Jjakji.
He is their champion indeed, as will be evidence as he is their entrant into the Tournament of Champions again starting next Tuesday. So just a quick reminder on our schedule coming up over the next couple of days. Tomorrow is the grand finals between the team who takes this set and Prime. And then on Friday we start our South by Southwest show match series at the Screenburn Expo in Austin, Texas. We will be doing that Friday and Saturday. So if you guys are in the area, please do come out. Admission is free. And then Sunday, Monday will be off the air. Tuesday, we come back with that Tournament of Champions, 16 of the very best players across the world from the teams that were represented in Team Arena Challenge 2. And they will be battling it out for $12,000 in prizes. First place, of course, gets $5,000 and a paid trip and entrance into the open bracket at IPL 4.
Yep, that open bracket is going to be insane.
Yeah.
And what a great opportunity for fans to meet, some of their favorite Korean players, too. I mean, especially where we're going to have two entire teams there for the GSL Team League Finals, for the GSTL Finals. Yeah, so, I mean, if you ever wanted to meet your favorite Korean StarCraft 2 player, chances are they're going to be there. And if you ever wanted to meet your favorite non-Korean StarCraft 2 player, they're probably going to be there as well.
I mean, just think about that, though,
variety.
Because if, okay, well, let's say, MVP, if they end up getting into the finals of the GSTL, well, then you're going to see Dongre, Gu, and Genius, and Keen, and Nessie, and Noble S, etc., etc., etc.
If you ever wanted to meet Guinea Pig, here's your chance, maybe, if MVP makes the finals.
And let's say FXO were to make it, then you're going to see Leenock, and Gumiho, and Oz, etc., etc. I mean, just the players keep on going. There's no losers for that.
There you go.
All right, so here we are now as it is expansion into spawning pool for JookTo. Nothing out of the ordinary for him. Jjakji, though, bypassing gas, going up to that 1-Rex gasless FE.
Yep, indeed, yeah. No sort of reactored Hellion expand from him. He's going for that command center first. First after the barracks anyway, first as in before his factory this time rather than after.
Right.
Yep, expanding quite early. And JookTo going for gas at the normal time here, not doing anything overly economically aggressive. Probably going to see him open very, very safely, but like I mentioned too, he could have a very specific build planned for this as well. And 2 gases right away for Jjakji. Now, that will help him get a factory very, very quickly, but that could also be an indication of him going into something else as well, such as Banshees. We did see him do it against Leenock, albeit it was 2-port Banshee. But in that game, too, he did expand after his barracks, I believe. Very early.
Yes, he did. He did open with a quick barracks and then showed reactored Hellions and moved into double-port Banshee right after that. So
I think he may have expanded after the factory in that case. He might have done a reactored Hellion expand, then 2-port Banshee, if I remember right. I'll have to go back and watch that game again. I was just looking at it yesterday, actually.
Daybreak, despite being a larger 2-player map, still has nothing on Atlantis Spaceship. This map is big. A lot safer to pull off that quick expo here.
Yeah, it's basically like if you took Terminus and took out the 2 bases on the side and kind of changed things up a little bit. That's kind of the distances we're talking about here with that. Yeah, it's pretty large.
It is quite indeed, but it's produced some very, very good games. Remember that game between Empire, Violent, Liquid Hero, and Fight Club last week, game number 8? Oh, that one was good.
Or the game between July and Marine King just the other day.
That was so good.
That was a great game as well. Yeah, July. Oh, that poor guy, he was so far ahead in that game. But
I know.
Still fun to watch for us.
Ultras, LOL.
3rd command center coming up for Jjakji, so he's going to be expanding very rapidly. First, he's going to be saturating his first 2 bases.
We'll see if he leaves this as a macro or orbital command for a little while. Of course, he has his 2nd orbital command already up. His opponent, on the other hand, we'll see when he decides to move back into gas.
Never. He's done with that.
All speed links, go!
He's working on alternative energy sources. Gas is limited. Gas prices are getting way too expensive for the Zerg.
Let's see here now is Jjakji rolling out with a couple of those Zerglings. They're splitting up, trying to maximize their damage, minimize their losses, but still not going to be enough. There is a macro hatch already coming up for JookTo. He's got a spine crawler up the front as well with 8 lings on the way.
Yep. +1 weapons on the way now for JJjakji as well. +1 shields on the way, so he has gone for that double engineering bay.
Wow, yeah.
I like it.
Tons of upgrades
I like it.
going to hit very, very soon. He's going to have... It's going to be slower for him to get an army, but once it hits, it is going to be incredibly powerful.
Oh, Zergling's trying to catch the Hellions. Oh, nice juke.
Oh, good
JJjakji.
job.
You think JookTo would be doing the juking back and forth, but no, JJjakji jukes this time. Actually juking joyfully.
Oh my god, alliteration, I love you.
Yes, alliteration.
English jokes.
Yep. So, look out, Overlord, don't fall into that fan.
Yes, it would be painful. He's just staring over, contemplating his life, staring into the precipice.
About his own mortality, yeah. It's like, I couldn't just end it all. The queen couldn't save me. Baneling Nest on the way, as well as the lair right now for JookTo.
Yeah, let's see here.
So, again, you know, just playing very safe on 2 bases. Probably see him start that Spire before he takes the third. Well, I take it back. He might actually start the third before the Spire, but first he's going to need to deal with these Hellions.
Yeah, that Baneling Nest is already coming up along with that layer tech, which is about halfway done now, and the Spine Crawler says, oh, they're gone now.
Yes.
And they run on.
Right, I'm ready. Been too late.
And JJjakji already setting up for Marine Medevac tank here, as he's already got a reactor ready for the starport, now putting that starport down. And, these Hellions have to watch out. Looks like they may get surrounded.
Really nice. Yeah, great surround there by JookTo, and he kills. You know, despite losing some Zerglings, he does get every Hellion, which is pretty big.
Yep.
It's nice to get that map control back early in the game before your mutas come out. He's done a good job of that as well.
And JookTo going to make his way up. We do have a third base coming up for JookTo. He felt very happy cleaning up those Hellions and retaking map control.
Yeah, also started his Spire, so he is going to be moving into Mutiling, Baneling for a little while at least.
Yeah, and his gas is already quite high, so he's going to be able to pop out with 8 or 9 of those by the time that Spire finishes.
Yeah, so if we kind of look at what JJjakji is doing right now, how many barracks is he sitting on? Okay, he's just got 3 barracks. 2 of them do not have reactors. So in this case, this is a situation where JookTo could actually do pretty well with Mutalisks. The other barracks are just coming down now as well. And I would have to imagine that JJjakji is considering adding on some more reactors onto his existing barracks as well. Probably not for a little while yet, because he knows the timing for Mutalisks is starting to approach. So now he's just going to kind of try to be defensive in this regard. Oh, the tank is stuck.
Yeah, I'm
not there. All right.
Wondered what those tanks were doing. Oh, Marines, watch out. You don't want to take your own siege tank fire.
Usually not, yeah.
What I do like about this, though, is that there's so many Terran players that will put up some barracks and they'll spam them with reactors, and they'll be like, cool, reactors are on there now. And if anything happens to their reactors or their production at all, it's very hard to recover. A player who invests in this farm of barracks is it makes it a lot easier on them to recover, because then they have the luxury of putting down those reactors afterwards.
Yeah, that is true. It's easier to add reactors on a little bit later than to remake, you know, reactors on a small number of barracks. You do have a good point there. So, but still, 7 mutas on the way, +1 weapons on the way as well for JookTo. And as we can see, not a gigantic group of Marines for JJjakji, so he's still going to have to be very careful about how he maneuvers that around to defend. He's going to have to be careful not to overstim and things like that as well. Probably wants to wait until at least 5 mutas out there. That is kind of the magic number to kill off workers.
These guys are moving into already super late game mode, though, or getting close to that. I mean, we have tons of workers out for both players. 78 drones up now to 69 SCVs. Oh, nice job catching this drop.
Yeah. That's big, getting the medevac before it does any sort of damage at all. 6 more mutas on the way right now. So I've got a feeling we're going to see JookTo play the brand of Mutiling Baneling, where he goes very heavy Mutalisks and just concentrates on doing just a lot of damage with those, a lot of harassment. Usually you see the players that do that get that +1 weapons like he's doing, rather than +1 carapace. And Marines waiting for him. Very nicely defended by JJjakji at that point.
Yeah, he does almost kill 2 Mutalisks. They are quite low.
Yeah.
We do have another Evolution Chamber and an Infestation Pit coming up now for JookTo. And he's also burrowing Banelings everywhere.
That is quite nice to be able to just kind of keep an eye on things. Wow, he's really got that lockdown. JJjakji's usually good about scanning this type of thing, though, so we'll have to see if he remembers to do it. And like you said, we'd have to kind of keep in mind that JookTo wants to move into the Broodlord phase of the game as fast as he can. Oh, he gets the medevac. Nice.
Good win for him.
Just because it is tough for Terran players to handle it right now. They're kind of playing with some new things. They don't quite know how to handle the late game ZVT with the Broodlords quite yet. Since the Ghost nerf, I believe now it takes 11 snipes to kill a Broodlord, which is a significant amount of energy and ghosts for Terran to make. So They're going to have to come up with something else. I feel like Ravens are the way to do it, but we haven't seen enough testing yet to be sure.
Good job putting a stop to those Mutalisks once again. He's lost a couple of drops to them, so that's helped kind of soften the blow for JookTo a little bit, but JookTo just not getting anything done as far as harassment goes.
Yeah, and he doesn't really need to get a whole lot done right at this point. It'd be nice to get some stuff done to kill some things, but right now the biggest thing he needs to do is try to keep Jakji in his base until the Broodlords come out, until he gets a nice group of infestors with a lot of energy as well, and he is doing a good job doing that. Looks like he might actually do a little bit of an attack here at the natural. I mean, I'm sure he'd be fine with drawing that army over those burrowed banelings as well.
Oh, very much so.
Yeah.
This map control is just immaculate, though, for JookTo. It's insane how much coverage he has. He's even got units inside of his, or in between his opponent's second and third.
Yep.
That's ridiculous. Jakji going to push out, though, and he does scan. He sees the burrowed banelings.
Nice. Did he see both of them, though? I think that scan just barely reached it.
Yeah, I think it only reached one of them, yeah.
Yeah, okay, well.
Let's see here.
It's not bad, not bad. And the thing is that one baneling still can do a lot of damage to those Marines, even if it doesn't kill them outright. It can still make them very vulnerable to things like Zerglings and, well, other banelings, I guess, as well.
Very true.
A little bit of an attack here, but with 2 spine crawlers there, 3 spine crawlers, yeah, it's going to get taken care of very quickly.
Yeah.
Don't even need to waste a fungal on that.
Yep. Delays long enough and picks it up. Very nice job there. Jakji taking his 4th base at the same time that JookTo is going after his 5th. So we're going to have sub 17-minute Broodlords and 4 bases to 5 at that point as well. This is about as quick as you can get to this point in a game.
This has become really popular. Getting Broodlords before the 20-minute mark, usually around 16 or 17 minutes. I was mentioning earlier, talking to Vibe about Stefano's style doing that. You know, he likes to add a few roaches early on and forgo spine crawlers to do that instead. But you see JookTo just playing safe with Mutiling. That's a 3rd drop he's caught now.
That's so good. That's, I mean, Jakji's macro has been pretty out of control, but losing, it's been about 30 supply to those catches has actually really held him back. He'd be max now. I
haven't seen Jakji shut down this hard in a very long time. JookTo's actually playing this really well. You can see why he was actually a good choice for OGS. Ooh, maybe that wasn't the best choice there. But again, you know, he could just be trying to draw those units over the burrowed banelings.
And this is actually a Zergling kill zone with as many siege tanks there are and as tight as that choke point is. Well,
you don't generally want to run in there.
7 Broodlords are coming up right now, though.
And
JookTo's going to be maxed.
Yep. You know, this is something that we're going to see a lot more often. Building the Ultralisk Cavern just to kind of give yourself the opportunity to switch back and forth between that very late game tech. Kind of do it when the Terran's not expecting it.
Building armor's coming up now with 5 Ghosts and a Thor. So Jakji, that's the way he's going to try and go after this. Still, lots of Ghosts. Of course, those Ghosts have multiple uses. Really can go. Oh, wow, just his defense. Look at that.
That is really nice defense. That's definitely something for other players to try out here. And, ooh, those Pearl Banelings are still under there as well.
Now, Jakji's playing ultra defensive, though. He does not have any sort of an attack army. He's going to have an additional 4 command centers that he can use on whatever he wants. But the Broodlords are coming. Now is the time. How do you handle this post-patch, Jakji? If anyone knows, you do.
Jakji is trying to go for a mix of Ghosts and Vikings. Trying to go a little bit about half and half. So we'll have to see how well that works out. EMP is still going to be very nice against the Infestors. Oh, and you need to be careful not to get the Broodlords too far ahead. Oh, he doesn't lose any.
Yeah.
So that's good, but you know, you do need to micro those, well, you can't really micro Broodlords terribly well because they're so slow, but you need to be careful about how they do it.
Yes.
Oh, trying to pull some Marines maybe in position to get a nice fungal on there as well.
Well, he is going to go after the Planetary Fortress now. Marines coming back, stimming themselves up again.
He's going to fungal.
He misses.
Oh, he whiffs with the fungals. Oh, the snipes taking out a couple Infestors, almost taking out a Broodlord.
Yeah. At the same time, Jakji tried to drop. It gets shut down again.
No, the Broodlord's getting very, very bold.
Yeah.
Moving well into that range of the Marines here.
Yeah, that Broodlord did 16 hit points. You saw how little damage the... Because one snipe actually hit one of the Broodlords. He was obviously intending to hit the Infestors.
I think so,
but he misclicked one of them, and it just almost did no damage at all.
Yeah, snipe's not going to be anywhere near as effective as it'll be. Oh, at that base, though. Here come the Vikings. That's a little bit better. Oh, nice fungal on those Vikings, keeping them in position. Here come the Corruptors, but is it enough Corruptors? That's the question here.
Again, sniping out those Infestors so well, and that may be enough here to give these Vikings some power. Oh, at the same time, Zerglings are trying to go through the front line of bunkers, and they are going to take those down. A few units trying to go into the natural, not going to work. Burrowing some Banelings right under JookTo's nose. Oh, but these burrowed Banelings!
Oh, right under the Ghost. Oh, that could work so well.
Oh,
he doesn't unburrow.
Oh,
man.
And he scans.
Yeah, he scans, but there's still 2 Banelings right there, man.
He's selecting them as well.
JookTo's like, oh, I could have done a lot of damage to those Ghosts.
Yeah.
Oh, well. All right.
Going to pick off a few more SCVs here.
Yep, that's right. Going after the command center because they're auto-targeting the thing that fights back.
Yes.
Not enough Corruptors here to defend these Broodlords by a long shot. Find that with some snipes. And JookTo is actually handling this beautifully.
Yeah, he really is. I mean, it's a good idea to go after those +1 Vikings like that.
Yeah, however, now there's a lot of Ghosts out, a lot of Vikings out, and a lot of Ultras on the way here for JookTo. And the thing is that by skimping on Ghosts and making a lot of Vikings because of the Broodlords, suddenly you don't have a lot of Ghosts with not a lot of energy to handle the Ultras. So, JookTo trying out this tech switch here. This is going to be interesting to see if it works. He's also putting down a lot of spine crawlers around the map. Stay defensive as well. Nothing but Ultras really there. I don't know. Oh, another drop. Oh, he just barely misses it here.
And
that's not going to work.
Nope, sorry, not. God, those snipes just aren't doing anything.
Yeah, not as much. You can see a big difference here. Oh, great Fungal catching a lot of the Ghosts, and those are all going to get owned by those Ultralisks. Oh, actually, a surprising amount escaping at about half health.
Uh-oh. Here's a nuke as well. Oh,
does he not notice? He does.
He sees it. He sees
notice.
it. And he was hoping it was going to allow him to drop, but he almost gets another drop shut down. The nuke is going to land. Yep. Takes out a couple of spine crawlers, and the drop did get cleaned up as well.
Yeah, all right. So, spine crawlers trying to rapidly burrow. They don't like getting shot. It's not a lot of fun.
No.
And they are going to be able to survive that. Only 1 spine crawler going down here. Maybe a second one, yep. Game still fairly even here, but JookTo has handled the first wave of late game tech from JookTo really, really well.
Yes, he has, and we're going to see how JookTo wants to respond. He's got a lot of banked resources now, sitting pretty well maxed. Has +3 weapons and +2 carapace, actually, for air coming up soon now.
Yeah, trying to focus on those upgrades. I like the use of sensor towers from JookTo as well, keeping himself in the know.
Yeah, and he, of course, has those ridiculous amounts of orbital commands laying around. He could actually sack a few of his SCVs. He's already gone down to 59, but he could go down past that, really.
Yeah, he could. He could get rid of a lot of those. All right, so JookTo gearing up for another big attack. That's a lot of Ultralisks. How many is that?
God, 14.
Whoa, here he goes. A lot of Ultralisks attacking to this defensive position, but is it going to be enough? No, having to pull back. It's just so hard to engage with Ultralisks. How do you get the proper engagement on any map? It's just, there's not a lot of room, man. All right, some spine crawlers going to be taken out here as well.
Oh, looks like the Ghost is going to go down before that happens.
Yep.
Drops down Changelings as well.
That's right.
Oh, 3 more Marines making their way down.
Nope, not worth
it.
Not worth it.
Well, may lose a hatchery instead.
I was going to say, okay, maybe that was. All right, there he goes.
Oh, too late now.
It was worth it. Spine crawl trying to burrow. Oh, here he comes from the other side.
Yeah.
But again,
the angle of attack, terrible.
Yeah, it's not finding a good angle. I mean, it's just so few maps where you can really get a nice surround with those Ultralisks. You almost need to have, you know, a good concave with melee units, which is very difficult to achieve.
There are just no Corruptors up as well. He's got 75 larvae sitting around. What is he waiting to use his money on?
I don't know. That's actually a very good question here. Because he does have the larva and he does have the money. He's just not using it.
Anything at this point. Yeah. Good God, JookTo. Okay. Well,
he's making some infestors now as well. He could go back into a lot of Broodlords. He is making some. I almost think a switch to a lot of Roaches might work in this regard. The only problem, though, is that you don't have the upgrades. So that's why you really can't switch to Roaches right now.
I just am so lost right now. 4 more Corruptors coming up, but why would he only... He has 70 more. He's got 6,500, 3,000 banked right now. Why would he only be producing that much? There's finally 11 Corruptors now. Spine Crawlers are going to delay for a little while. We'll see if it's long enough. And the Ultras just get killed right away.
Yep. I wonder if some of his hatcheries aren't hotkeyed. That is possible. That does happen sometimes.
I guess that's what it has to
Sometimes
be.
you missed that. Yeah, this late game army just not working out. Another nuke coming down. Where is the nuke?
I'm not sure.
At a
down
base
here.
right there. All right, it's going to take out some of the spine crawlers. In the meantime, base on the left side getting killed.
Yes, the base does go down. The nuke lands, and boom.
The queen is like, how did I live?
I think JookTo's just going to put his team through. I mean, this is going to be extremely difficult for JookTo to try and come back against. Now JookTo is gaining control of the map. He's starting to kill tech. More nukes going off.
It's certainly going well for JookTo, but there are a bunch of Broodlords on the way. 8 Broodlords and 8 more Corruptors, so this thing isn't quite over yet.
No.
Looks like he's going to try to finish off this hatchery.
Yeah, killing more drones and larvae there.
Yep, that's right. That will work. The hatchery very low on life, but not a lot more it's going to be doing this game. Corruptors popping out now, and another nuke. Oh wow, he's just going after the hatchery.
Oh my God!
Like
okay, there we go.
Around now.
Yeah, JookTo finally pulling back off of that. Okay, the Broodlords are now involved. We'll see if there's enough up here for JookTo to be able to push through this. He's got quite a few snipes. I don't know if there is either. It looks like JookTo is going to lose that front line of forces.
Look at that, and the snipes not being anywhere near as effective as they used to be. A lot of Broodlords surviving.
Yeah.
Only siege tanks left right now for JookTo. He is down on supply. JookTo may still win this game.
Yeah, he may very well. We have 8 more Corruptors, 6 more Infestors coming up now, still with 30 larvae sitting around, but of course he has run through his banked resources now.
Yep.
JookTo, on the other hand, he's producing 7 Marines, a Ghost, 4 Marauders, 3 Tanks, 4 Vikings at a time, so a very well-developed army for him as well.
Yeah, the late game for Terran right now, if you stick on this type of tech, looks very difficult. You have a lot of different types of units to maintain. And those overlords, those overseers dropping out a lot of changelings there, bunkers, but nobody inside of them. And they're like, hey, can we join?
We are a pack of Marines. All right. Well, let's see here. There's the stim.
Marine damage, and he gets 1 Broodlord, it looks like.
And down to solo health, 5 hit points.
He didn't get it.
And he has to back away. We'll see if that gives him enough time to get those Vikings up there. There are 8 on the field, another 4 coming up now.
Yep. Kills that command center as his building, doesn't get the repair in, and he's got Infestors in position now to fungal any bioforces that come in, and maybe will try to do some damage here.
All right.
It's such a tense game here. It really could go either way. JookTo producing another big round of Ghosts and Vikings.
Man, JookTo was up by 70 supply and killing bases and tech before, and JookTo finally realized he had larvae sitting around, decided he wanted to use some of those resources he had built up.
Yep. Small strike force of Marines coming down here.
Yeah.
That's not going to help that Planetary Fortress, though.
Nope, Planetary Fortress goes down, and JookTo just... That's really about all of his mining. He's got some over here on the right.
Pretty much it. So, yeah, now the siege of the main base area begins.
Yeah.
And how many Corruptors does he have right now? Actually, a good amount of Corruptors and Infestors. This is looking like a very deadly army here for JookTo.
Well, +2 attacks are coming up. The mule says, hey, what's going on here? What's all going on here? Oh.
And there's a nuke.
Is it
down at the bottom right base, I would have to imagine. Yep,
yes,
there it is. Clearing
is.
out some more spine crawlers, but the big attack at the natural is commencing.
Yeah, we'll see if JookTo can find a way to defend that. At the same time, the nuke hits, and JookTo loses a couple of drones. Certainly could have been worse, though.
Yep, that's right. Here's the big attack. Coming in with all the ghosts. Is it going to be enough?
JookTo! He pulled away his Corruptors. They're not engaging, and a few Broodlords have actually fallen now. The Infestors are getting sniped out. JookTo has pulled another 30 supply advantage. Finally, the Corruptors are starting to move back in, and that's what JookTo needed about 30 seconds ago.
Oh, man, and no fungals going down on that army at all. I think I hear some more nukes going down as well.
Yeah, I think you are right. Looks like there's one down here in the bottom right. That could take out yet some more units.
Oh, but this is the big story right here.
That's it. The whole army is done. Boom!
Oh, man, killing the drones as well. I can't believe it. That army was just controlled beautifully. That Ghost just putting his arm on his hip. He's like, yeah, come at me, Baneling.
I did that.
Doesn't do anything.
I did that.
Again.
All right.
Nuking you. Oh, that's going to work.
Cloak!
Oh. Oh, all
Cloak!
right.
Oh, bye-bye.
Okay, that's what a Ghost looks like when he gets melted.
Apparently.
And, wow. JookTo.
Oh, my God.
JookTo still... Nerf him all you want, man. He is still unstoppable in TVP.
GG! OGS is out. NSHoSeo has defeated their 5th team in the lower bracket, and they are now your representatives in the grand finals.